here. I think it's not necessarily the setup because the Wi-Fi kind of messed up on us. So we'll try it this way. If it doesn't work, this is the third time, so we'll see how she works out this time. But yeah, my laptop is still giving me this spinning wheel over here, so we will try it from my phone and see how we fare out this way. So I'll see if some people jump in. Third time's a charm, right? So we'll try it out this way, see how it goes. See how it goes. Yeah, this isn't my internet connection here, so I'm not too sure how stable it is, but it doesn't seem to be working out for us on the internet connection here. But hopefully you guys can see me from here, and we'll try it this way. So if you guys are in here, let me know. All right, we got 3 people in here. It shows, so let me know if you can see and hear me okay on this. We'll try it this way. I just had to turn off the Wi-Fi and go from here because it wasn't working out from the laptop. I still don't even think I have Wi-Fi on my laptop from here. Something's going on with the connection over here. Something's going on with the connection. So we'll let some people join back in. I know some people were probably on the other stream a minute ago. Let's see. What up, Sinister Stripes? We're having some technical difficulties over here with the internet, so let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Sorry, third time I think trying to do this. Let's see if this is still stuck. Yeah, even my laptop still never. Anyways, all right. Let's see. We got some light. We got a few people. Let's let some people join in. Check this out. This is where I'm at. We got some pool. We got some palm trees. We're over here in Coral Springs. So it's still daylight, but it's we're on the, I guess, East Coast. So it's not. It gets dark a lot sooner over here. But what's up, Adrian? I saw your new splitter for the 4th gen. Looks pretty legit. Pretty legit. Did you just make that today? Damn, you did that a few weeks ago? You're just posting it now? Why didn't you post it before, man? What the heck? Waiting to see a gator? Maybe. Look at this. You can do all... I didn't even realize there's all these weird effects that you can put on here. Look, check this out. God damn! I didn't know you could do all this. Look at this, like a documentary. You can do all sorts of crazy things with these live streams. Sheesh. Look at that. Look at this. We're finding all kinds of weird things out. Looks like we're in the 70s. Got that 70s pool going. Who would have thought? All right, back to the normal. That's the normal color. Dance party? Oh, snap. We dance partying at the pool. My sister's dog is going ballistic. What is all this stuff? Crazy. There's all sorts of crazy stuff you can do here. But, yeah, people's notifications are probably getting blown up because I was trying to go live from my laptop, but it didn't work out. I'm not too sure on the internet connection here, but it's been pretty decent. But I tried to go live on the laptop and it didn't want to cooperate, so it is what it is. No gators yet. I haven't seen one of these gators. I've been looking to see if I saw a gator somewhere, but still nothing. Still nothing. Michael says, how's the prices around here? They're pretty decent. Like, you just gotta know where to look. Like, obviously you're not gonna get something. I'll flip this around so you guys aren't staring at a pool. Like, obviously you're not gonna get something that's you know, downtown Miami or something like that, but you can get quite a bit of houses if you know where to look. Like, as long as you look in the suburbs. So the place that I was looking at, how much was that again? The place that I showed you guys in the last video, that was like under 5, so it's not like crazy overpriced down here by any means. So I'm thinking about doing something similar to that. That one that I was looking at needs a few things, like it needs a roof, and there's a few things that need to be kind of attended to. And one of the things down here is if the roof's like over 20 years old, you can't get insurance, and you have to have insurance on the house to get the mortgage, because they want their, you know, they obviously want the investment to be insured. So I'm trying to find out about that. The real estate agent's gonna get back with me on that one, but at the same time I'm still looking, and then I gotta go up to that PRI show that I think I was just explaining to you guys a minute ago on the other live stream before it cut out. But I'm going up to the PRI show this week in Indianapolis, so I'll be up there. If you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much like SEMA except for race cars and stuff like that. So I'll be headed up to there and checking that out. All right, some people are starting to roll in. So red tape everywhere. What's the red tape everywhere? What else? Random YouTube videos. What's up? What's up, Chris? Viper update, please. Yeah, so that's the other reason. So I'm going up to Indianapolis this week. The other thing is there's some salvage yards up there that have some of the quarter panels up by Indianapolis for whatever reason. So I was going to try and kind of get both those tasks out of the way and go to the PRI show and then go and pick up a red quarter panel from a salvage yard. And then if I do get that, then we might head back to Dallas so I can put that quarter panel on the car. Maybe it'll give us something to do. But at the same time, my priority is still trying to find an ideal house and stuff like that. So same time too, I'm kind of looking at the market. If any of you guys like invest in the real estate market and stuff like that, or even stock market, like things are, some weird stuff's kind of going on too right now with the market. So I'm keeping a close eye on that as well. Try to see what goes on with that stuff. So what else you guys got for me? So yeah, as far as the Viper, I just haven't fixed that quarter panel just yet. But I'll flip this around for you guys. It looks like we got a few more people in here now. So here's where we're at. It's pretty cool. We are in Coral Springs right now. So was it yesterday's video? Yeah, I guess it was yesterday. The video that I just posted, we were over on the West Coast. I keep getting my coast mixed up because from being on the California side, every time I think coastal, it's always west. But in Florida, you got the West Coast and you got the East Coast. So it's kind of weird, you know, saying West Coast, East Coast when you're in one state. But Florida, you got two coasts. So yesterday we were on the west coast, and it's gonna take me a while to get that straight, but we were over there, checked out that house, and then right now I'm over by like Miami area again at my sister's spot. What the heck is that? It's a gator. What's up, Matt? No one knows says hi. Michael says get close to the beach. Yeah, it's kind of weird, like with the beach situation. Like I'm trying to get close to the beach without getting too close to the beach, because you don't want to go too close to the beach, because then you have to worry about, you know, the vehicles, and obviously the hurricanes become more of a factor. So it's nice to be close to the beach for, you know, if you just have like a Toyota Corolla and you're an everyday Joe, and, you know, a hurricane comes through and you lose your Toyota Corolla, it doesn't really matter. But when you have all these vehicles, in my opinion, it's not like they're like the most expensive vehicles, but when you have all the vehicles that we have, you have, you know, all these engines and transmissions and a lot of stuff or assets that can get damaged. I don't want to be super close to the beach to where, you know, it's going to be a matter of time before, you know, a hurricane rolls through. It's just part of living here. But being a little bit further away from the beach so I don't have to, you know, worry so much every time is definitely ideal. So kind of want to be close to it without being too close, if that makes sense. Y'all hit the like button. Yes, sir. The more you guys give videos and anything, kind of shares it with more people. So you guys can definitely help me out by doing that. So thank you, Matt, for reminding everyone. Chris says, it sounds like Florida may be your new home. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. Nice. Yeah, Chris, hit me up. I'll be heading north probably within the next day or so, because I got to go up to that PRI show. So who knows? Maybe maybe we can meet up. Matt says, what's up, Boosted Motorsports? What's up, Matt? What does this say? Drag. I also been looking for houses in Texas and Florida, but I started looking into North Carolina, and I think that place might be the move. Definitely recommend checking out. I just, like I said, not to be a big baby, but I just don't want to go north. Like even the northern parts of Texas are, you know, has somewhat of winter. Not like anything serious, but they get ice and, you know, the odd or occasional snowfall. Like I don't even want to deal with that at all. I'd rather be like, I'm literally standing in my shorts and flip-flops, like you guys always know, in a t-shirt, and it's December, right? So this is more my weather. I know some people hate the heat, but it's all personal preference, and I'm more of a warm climate person myself. But I know, like in North Carolina, even parts of South Carolina get snow, so it's just a little too cold in the winter for my preference. Not saying it's, you know, can't deal with it, but just personal preference, right? Random YouTube videos in Lakeland. I looked at I don't know if I showed you that house. I did look at a house in Lakeland the other day, actually, or near there. Darren says, hey John, I seen someone on Facebook Marketplace had an M1 Mopar 5.9 2-barrel throttle body, $1,500. What are they actually worth? Yeah, that's definitely on the higher end of things. I think usually, like, if you look, you can usually get them for like $800 or $900, which is kind of more the going rate. But I don't even think it's worth it, to be honest. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. You're gonna lose a lot of low end torque, and you're gonna gain up top. But I personally preferred running the kegger on there. You had way more torque off the bottom, because I mean, you're not going to rev a 5.9 up to the moon anyways, at least a stock one. So you're probably better off getting a Hughes air gap, because you won't lose as much bottom end, but you'll gain up top. And I think the Hughes air gap is probably around the $800 or $900 mark. And honestly, I think it'd be better than the M1, but that's just my opinion. Nathaniel says, dude, you got a house finally? Where? No, so this is my sister's house. This is just where I'm staying over here in South Florida. So I kind of like this area, and I think I talked about it in one of my videos. So I'm on the, every time I have to think about this, I'm on the east coast of Florida right now. But it seems there, not to like whatever, I'm sure there's like some older people that watch this video, but not to like sound whatever, like I'm 17 or anything, but there's just like a lot older people. And when I say older people, like people that are like over 55 and 60s, there's a lot of that in Florida as a whole, but then there's areas where it's like predominantly just, you know, people that are like over 60 years old. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it's a nice place to retire and stuff, but like the house that I showed you guys in the last video when I went to it, it was like I went out for dinner and stuff like that. I went to Walmart just to like grab some things, and it was all like seniors everywhere. I guess seniors is the best word for it. Whereas last night, we went out for dinner, and so we went out to kind of like a more ritzy area, like Boca Raton or whatever. And there was people all our age, or more or less, right? 20s, 30s, whatever. So it's kind of nice to be around like, you know, somewhat younger people in a sense. And I don't know, don't quote me, but I think the East Coast or Southeast, I guess, part of Florida seems to be a little bit more our age demographic, at least. So it's just something to factor in too. It's just, I don't want to feel like I'm living in like an old age home or something. Chris says, I always like the videos. How can you not? I know. Thank you guys. So yeah, like I said, every time you I'm stumbling over words. Every time you give it a thumbs up, it shares the videos with other people. So it's kind of YouTube's algorithm stuff. Have a look at Siesta Key. All right, I'll take a look. I love the fall and the winter. Yeah, so I mean, it's like you kind of pick your poison. So a lot of people complain about how hot it is in the summer in Florida, but that's almost like everybody's off season. So like the peak of summer is kind of where everybody hides inside. It's no different than, you know, maybe way up north where it's super cold and everybody hides inside in the winter. It's kind of like vice versa in Florida. Whereas in the winter in Florida, you get like a very nice climate while everybody in other parts of the country might be freezing their butts off. So just depends on what your preference is, right? You either take some snow and some ice in the winter, or, you know, if you live in California, you got perfect climate all year round, but then you're dealing with other issues that we've already discussed. So just depends what your preference is. Nowhere is perfect, that's for sure. Michael says, hope you score a killer house and continue the builds and Mopar content. Yeah, like trust me guys, I want to get this house thing sorted out just as much as you guys probably want to see some builds get started, because I'm getting super antsy. It's been a nice little break because I know the Dakota was kind of kicking our butts for a while, but I'm ready to get back to the builds, honestly, and, you know, get that RAM going and all sorts of stuff. So the faster I can get this house thing ironed out, then we can get back to some of the builds you guys are waiting for. The Hellcat swapped RAM. We still have the Viper swap. We still got the 5.7 to stuff into something. So we got a lot of cool stuff on the go. It's just a matter of getting this locked down with the place that we're gonna get. So yeah, and the other thing too is like kind of a kick between the legs too. Part of this is by the time I actually find something, once we actually get the deal ironed out, it's still gonna be like 30 days, you know, bare minimum before I actually get the keys to this place. So we're still like a month out from the day that I actually signed the paper, and I haven't even gotten to that point yet because I'm being a little bit picky on what I'm trying to, you know, get into. Let's see. Random YouTube videos. Or random videos YouTube, I think. Says, heck yeah. Matt says, just remember, Tampa is the West Coast. I know, I'm trying to remember, but every time I go, it just sounds weird to say when you're talking about being on the East Coast in general, but the West Coast of Florida. Nathaniel says, so what do you think about Texas all around? Give me 1 second. My arm is getting tired holding this phone up, so let me grab my stand. I'll be right back, 2 seconds. Originally, I was planning on, if you guys don't know, I was planning on using my laptop, but the signal wasn't that good, so I ended up switching back to the phone last minute. So let me just grab my stand for this, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're almost set, guys. We're almost set. All right, let's go. Let me see if I can, this might actually be a half decent setup if I can do this. This is my sister's place, so that's where I'm at right now. If this thing will work, this would be ideal. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try and see if I can use my laptop to see the screen, but something weird is going on with this internet here. Let's see what's going on. If not, we will just do it from arm's length. We'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, I was trying to, just so you guys understand what I was trying to do. Originally, I had my laptop going here, and we were doing a live stream, and then the computer just completely decided to not be our friend here. So anyways, let me just throw this here. It'll be better. And that way I don't have to hold this phone. All the blood was running out of my hand. What's up, Caesar? How's Texas? All right. So there we go. Is that a half decent setup actually? That'll work. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Damn, look at you guys with the fuel prices. Let's see if I can catch up to you guys here in the comments. Oh, so what do I think about Texas all around? Yeah, definitely don't, I'm not knocking Texas. It's just when I started running the numbers, the property taxes were just getting a little crazy. And I haven't completely ruled it out. It's just, there's two factors. The Dallas area does have kind of a winter to it. And then if you're gonna be buying a house at the purchase price that we were looking at, it was gonna be the property taxes. Like if I were to buy like a $450,000 house, property taxes were gonna be like around like $9 grand. It was crazy. And then if you started getting up to the 550s or 650 marks, obviously like I'm not like loaded or anything, but I wanted to try to keep the price down as much as possible. But when I started to get up into the higher price points, it was like getting into like $12,000 a year for taxes, which just seemed kind of crazy to me. So and you start breaking that down, right? So you start dividing that monthly. The monthly payments were just way more for a house in Texas than it was in Florida. So I wanted to come down here anyways and kind of check it out. So that's why I'm down here. But I've definitely found quite a few places that'll fit the need down here. I'm just being super picky with trying to find the perfect place. I mean, I could easily pick something up here, live here or live in it for like 3 years. And then, you know, we could keep shopping. And I'm sure even any place that we do get, you know, I'm not opposed to moving again in the 3 years. Not like the place that I'm going to get next is going to be like the forever home or something like that. So I'm okay with only living in it for a few years and then us finding something different afterwards. I'm just trying to just get into something for now. And then we'll worry about, you know, having the perfect place later or whatever. Just trying to straighten this thing out. So we're just kind of, I think that's how you straighten it out. Sorry, I would have already had this set up, but my computer decided to crap out on us. Anyways, whatever. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Next question. Just so you guys know, every time I like stop touching the screen, it literally just goes back. Let me restart this thing. Hopefully I can get to the thing over here. If I get to the comments on my laptop, then at least I don't have to keep going back, because every time it disappears, the comments disappear from here. I have to scroll all the way back to wherever I just was. Okay. Frank says, you would like the Southwest Ranches, Davie, nice area, and the houses have a lot of property. I'll check it out. I love Tampa, it's really nice. Guavaween, that rocks. I haven't looked up, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Guavaween. You definitely left Cali in time. It's over $5 a gallon. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody saw that coming as far as prices, right? But not only just that, but it's supposed to get up to like $7 or $8, which isn't, you know, that'd be obviously terrible, but that's pretty much where they're seeing it headed. So $5 a gallon might seem crazy right now, but based on what everyone's saying, it's probably gonna keep going up from there, at least for California for sure. All right, what is going on with this thing? So weird. This internet just completely tanked the bed. All right, next question. If you guys are wondering what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get my laptop back up here so I can follow along with you guys in the questions instead of poking my finger in this camera every 2 seconds. Oh, there we go. There we go. Seems like it works. All right, let me see if I can mute this. All right, here we go. That's probably better. So now I can see all the comments from here. Let's see. Yeah, so I think the price are just gonna keep going up for fuel. I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. Darren says, thanks, John. Appreciate the advice. It's cold and snow equals, or snow squalls here today. First big snowstorm on the way here. Apparently, send your weather up here. I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I grew up in Canada in the snow, so I'm really, I really don't care for the snow and the ice and the cold anymore. Call it what you will, but I'm not into it anymore. Like, it's December and I'm in flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt and I'm outside right now, so can't ask for more than that, I don't think. Mark says 75 and sunny in Havasu. Yeah, Havasu's nice too. Effing gas in Arizona is $3.62 a gallon for regular. Too close to I know, right? That's crazy. Yeah, the gas prices just keep going up. So I've been paying, like, I think the cheapest I paid so far, like over here in these coastal areas, was like $3.30 for diesel over here in Florida. I paid $3.45 I think the other day, but yeah, $3.30s ish for diesel is kind of what we're paying. It's not as cheap as like Texas or some of the other states, but I don't know, I haven't been there in a week or so, but I know everything's been going up in this week too. Hawaii's $4.46 a gallon. That's still not as expensive as California. White Knuckle says, what's up, John? Is this a potential buy? Nice pool. Is there a shop? No, this is just my sister's place that I'm at right now. So that's where I'm at the moment. I wonder if I flip that around. Let me flip this. I know I'm fidgeting with the camera here, but I think we can get a way better picture if I spin this around. Like I said, we were originally we were on the laptop, but everything kind of got messed up on us, so now we're resorting to this setup. All right, let's try that. Oh yeah, that looks a lot clearer for sure. Heck yeah, that's a half decent setup, you guys. I think we can deal with this. So yeah, the picture quality is pretty decent on that, and that's streaming. That's not even on Wi-Fi either, so that's pretty legit, you guys. I don't know if it gets a whole lot better than that. Yeah, so I'm just at my sister's place right now, and then I'm gonna be going up to Indianapolis next week for the PRI show. What I originally wanted to do is I was gonna share my screen with you guys on my computer and show you guys the PRI show for those of you guys that haven't heard of it, because I didn't even really know what it was until probably a week or so ago. It's like pretty much SEMA for like hardcore like racers and enthusiasts. So I know like Clay Milliken's supposed to be up there. We're gonna go hang out with my buddy Steve from Holly. So bunch of racers and racing. I know Cletus is gonna have like his Leroy car up there and a bunch of stuff. So I'll be headed up there next week, and obviously I'll be getting coverage of that event for you guys. Mark Sam's gas stations should be cheaper. Just need to get a card. It's $45 every year, not bad. Yeah, Sam's gas stations for sure. The only thing is, I don't know if you're speaking to Mark. Oh yeah, because I mean with the diesel, I don't think Sam's Club has diesel, just gas. Dawson said I like turtles. Heck yeah, I don't think there's any turtles out where you are though. Out in El Paso, it's pretty much the desert. Hello from BC. What's up, Lawrence? Where I live, Sam's gas station is 306. Not bad. Man, I love this place. El Paso is great. Yeah, anywhere but California. I know there's a lot of Californians watching on here because that's kind of where this channel started, but man, it just sucks to see the direction that place is gone, especially with all the stuff now, right? Like, you guys already heard me, and one of the reasons why I said I wanted to get out of there is because I told you, I'm like, watch, there's gonna be a new this, a new that, and they're gonna try to lock this place down, and sure enough, look what's all over the news. Oh, look at this, you know, watch out. The boogeyman's gonna get you. Hi from Ontario, Kirkland Lake. Kirkland Lake, I used to race snowcross out there. Way the hell up north. Yeah. 1.5 foot of snow the last few days. Yeah, one of our races for snowcross used to be up in Kirkland Lake, so I've been up there. What about Nevada? Nevada's, there's really not a whole lot in Nevada, right? So you got like Reno, and then you got like the Vegas area, but the Vegas area has gone through the roof too, because everybody's kind of escaped LA and went to Vegas. So that market's pretty inflated too as far as prices. Lawrence saying, are you saying F equals freedom and T equals taxes? Kind of. For a while, I don't know if I said it on this channel, but it was like an ongoing joke where I was changing if you take Texas and you swap out the E for the A, it spells taxes. So I was calling Texas taxes. Or if you say it with a thick enough accent, I guess Texas sounds like taxes, if you say it that way. But yeah, that place is all about taxes. Texas is about taxes. I have a white Dodge Dakota Magnum V8 Sport that I want to turn into a Hellcat so bad. I'm looking at Hellcats now to make it happen. That would be pretty legit. Send it. Let me get through all these comments. Steve over here, Sparky's Garage. Island boy, look at this. Steve's just jealous that he's in a sweater and sweatpants, and I'm over here. I got my flip-flops on. Look at this. Look at this, Steve. This is my OSHA work shoes right now, and I got shorts on. Can't get any better. I'm outside, and it's warm. That's what I'm all about. I guess I'm an island boy. I'll take it. Let's see. Nathaniel, dude, that's so crazy. I'm looking into Iowa just because of my company. Seems cheap, but definitely don't want to stay there forever. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Even though, you know, the house that I lived in California, like, it was so far away from my work at the time. Like, I don't know if I ever even told you guys this, but my commute from my house that was in California was a 2-hour commute on a good day. If you had like zero traffic on the road, like absolutely nothing, it was an 1.5-hour drive. So even if you hit a tiny bit of traffic, it was 2 hours. And then coming back, you know, trying to even think about making it from 4 o'clock to pretty much 8 or 9 o'clock at night, if you tried to make it back in that window, it took like 3 hours. So that was my commute for like 1.5 years. I knew it wasn't gonna be forever. I was like, and if you guys don't know, and I don't know, I try not to say, or on my channel, I try not to be like, you know, get you guys to feel sorry for me or anything, but I bought that house so that I could do this whole YouTube thing. I bought that house because it was the only thing I could afford at the time that had a 3-car garage, and to afford it, I had to go way out of the city to be able to afford a house with a 3-car garage. And I didn't even have the 20% down. I just put down like maybe 5 or 10% because that's all I had. I barely had it, and that was like all the cash in my bank account to buy this house. And it did exactly that. But like I said, I had like a goal and a vision in mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this house with a 3-car garage. I'll be able to do YouTube with it. I'll have my own space. I can work in this, and I thought it was gonna be, you know, a ton of room. But obviously we've outgrown it since. But that was all part of the plan, was to, you know, get a house that had a garage, start doing our thing, and see where this goes. And then, you know, 3 years later, here we are moving across the country to find a bigger house with a bigger shop. But if I said it was easy, it definitely wasn't. Now, you know, I'm able to, you know, put the 20% down because I, you know, made a smart decision and bought the house at a good time. Even when I bought the house, prices were high. Everybody, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's too expensive, too expensive. When I bought the house, it had just finished going up, and in the last 3 years, it's just kept going to the moon. So, yeah, I did okay on that house for sure, but, yeah, I mean, I guess all I'm trying to say is any house that you buy, like, just kind of look at whatever your goals are in the next 3 years or so. And as long as the tax structure doesn't change, as long as you live in that house for 3 years, you don't have to pay capital gains on it. So, I think, like I said, I never try to get political, but I guess it always ends up that way. Like, I actually think I've heard that they're trying to change that. You know, the current administration is trying to make it so that you have to pay capital gains tax on your primary residence. But at the moment, as long as you owned it for 3 years and you lived in it, you don't have to pay capital gains. So, yeah, I lived in that one for 3 years, and I would have stayed there if everything was kind of going decent, but I didn't like feeling like a little kid being grounded for the last year and a half. You know, oh, you can't go to the gym. I felt like I was like 3 years old again, and my parents were grounding me. It's like, can't go to the gym, John. You can't go out and have any fun, John. All the bars and everything are closed, John. Don't go anywhere. So, that was not fun. I don't think any government or politician should be able to tell you what you can and can't do. But anyways, it's the end of my rant. Let me get back to your guys' questions. Let's see. Lauren said your sound just went out. And then Ron says sound is good. Nathaniel says it's crazy because here in Cali, my property taxes went from $1,000 a year to $3,500. Now that doesn't even include all the other taxes already. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like all the different utility bills are going up in California too. Like it doesn't end. It just keeps going and going. Darren says, what's PRI stand for? I don't know what the I is it, but I know it's performance and racing. I should know the last part. Let me see if I can Google it. I don't even want to chance it actually. This internet's kind of shaky right now, but I know it's performance, racing. Actually, Sparky's in the chat. Steve, what's PRI stand for? Steve's the one that not made me go, but told me I should go. So Steve knows what PRI stands for. Matt says I've been to PRI a bunch. It used to be in Orlando, and then they moved it up to Indy. Oh, that would have been cool if it was in Orlando. That sucks they moved it, because that would have been a lot less traveling for me next week. Mark says that place you looked at yesterday was pretty cool there in Florida. Yeah, it's a potential candidate. It's a little bit tight on space. The only thing, it is what it is, but on that one I'll have to reconstruct or reconfigure the driveway and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit easier to get my trailer in. It's got the land, like it's got the space to be able to park the trailer in the backyard, but it needs gates, probably needs some concrete work and stuff like that to really dial it in. But definitely not a bad setup there for sure. Thanos says, so sad to see California. It used to be the home of the muscle cars and cheap living to what it is now. Nevada, I lived there for a year. I was going to buy a house, but then it went up way more. Yeah, everything keeps going up. Nathaniel says, just as expensive in Nevada as it is California. Yeah, it's kind of going crazy everywhere for sure. But to your point about the car scene, I agree. It's like there's so many diehard like car enthusiasts over there, and there's so many just different events, but it's like, you know, a true enthusiast would be lying to you if they said they didn't have to kind of, you know, look over their shoulder or something like that. Like, nobody that goes to those car shows is just buying a car off the showroom floor and just going to a car show for the most part. Everybody's doing something to it, you know, modifying it in some way or another. And you guys know as well as I do, like, California is like one of the hardest to do something like that. So it's kind of weird, right? It's like you have all these people with all these modified cars going to these car shows when technically every single one of those cars isn't legal. Like, it's just kind of weird. But that's what the politicians wanted, I guess. That's kind of what they've turned it into, unfortunately. Tinker Garage. How's your throttle body manufacturing going? I've been swamped, honestly. I haven't been up on it. I'll try to get that going again. Like right now, I'm just kind of being a gypsy. So once I get back and get situated and stuff, and get in the new place and get settled in, then I'll definitely try to get that going again for you guys. Mark says everyone from Smelly moved to Lost Wages. Lost Wages. Seriously. But that's kind of sad too. Like, you still have to wear like a mask in Las Vegas too. And like their whole like tourism thing is kind of been hit really hard. Ron says 2 hours. Wow. Yeah, like it was 2 hours on a good day. It was more like 2.5 to 3 hours trying to drive back. So I would usually go to the gym and try to wait for traffic to die down before I went all the way back. So Nathaniel says, what in it is for me now from Apple Valley to Chino? Oh, that's a pretty far drive too. David said, man, I'd kill for your weather. Yeah, I mean, you can make it happen, guys. Like I said, like, I don't know. It is what it is. I literally was living in freezing cold Canada before. And like I said, I moved to California for work and had the luxury of having, you know, the perfect California weather. And I didn't really like, you know, all the other stuff going on there. So now I'm just moving somewhere else that has good weather. You know, maybe it's not as perfect as California. Some people complain about bugs. I mean, I guess I can't say because there's that net thing around me, but I'm outside. It's not like I'm getting eaten alive, but I know I have that big net thing, I guess. But I haven't really noticed any crazy amounts of bugs so far. I know it's probably worse in the summer where it's more humid, but and you know, some people complain it's too humid, you know, down here, but I don't know. It doesn't matter where you go. There's gonna be pros and cons, right? It's like you could just as easily complain that California it's more expensive and gas prices are higher and food is more expensive and utilities are more in California, like, you know, but the weather is perfect. I don't know. It just depends what you want to tolerate. Matt Stanley says, let's go, Brandon. There we go. So Steve put performance racing industry. There it is. Matt and Steve both filled in the blanks. Steve, the PRI show better be legit, because that's a far drive. That's all I'll say. Or at least we better have some fun stuff that we can do. Stuff with Steve. Some fun stuff with Steve. He's got some hood pins and stuff we're going to install. I kind of want to see if, hopefully your tune gets sorted out with, if you guys don't know, so Sparky's Garage, that's the Challenger, Steve's Challenger that we did the cam install on. Go give him a follow. If you click on his username in the chat, you can probably go see it. He's got more videos on that Challenger as well. But we'll be doing a follow-up, so hopefully by the time we get over there and we do some more filming, hopefully it's running good. So I know he's been trying to get the tune dialed in on that thing. Nathaniel says, I want to do a hellcat swap in my Dakota, but what gen of 5.7 would you go with? Well, I don't understand. Are you doing a hellcat or are you doing a 5.7? Hellcat's a 6.2, but if you're saying you want to do the hellcat but you're gonna settle for the 5.7, I would say go with like the 09 and up, because then you'll get the variable valve timing. So that's like the most popular one is the 09 and up with the VVT setup. Darren says, okay, thanks. I see it then. No, thanks, guys. Dave says, yeah, man, I'm from Alberta and I'm tired of the cold. One day I'll move the family around there. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And it's not as easy as people say, like, oh, you know, I just want to move to the south. It's like, if you're a Canadian and you try to move down here, it's like a whole process. I'd be lying to you if I said it was just easy as, you know, picking up and being like, oh, I want to move. Like, they definitely don't make it easy to come in here just because you're Canadian, that's for sure. It has to be pretty legit, and you have to go through a whole process and, you know, years of stuff to get here. But I'm here, I'm legit, it's worth it. Mark says, any other prospective properties there in Florida you looked at? So far, I mean, I showed you guys the one in, it's up north, like it's near Ocala is where the other one is, but I don't know, I like the house and the garage is nice, but they're asking too much is the problem right now. I've tried talking to them about lowering the price. So just so you guys know, so the first house that we went and looked at in Florida, that one was up near Ocala, and I guess I could just tell you the price. The house has been for sale since July. It's been on the market forever. The house is only 2 years old. It's nice, it's a nice house, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and they want, well, originally apparently in July they wanted like $565,000 for that house. They claimed they had a buyer, but the buyer backed out, so, you know, whatever. Like, even on my house, we had a buyer and the buyer backed out. Like, it's common for, you know, people to kind of mess you around like that. So just because they have a buyer doesn't mean that it was actually going to sell for that long. Otherwise, somebody else would have came right in behind them and scooped it up, right? So with that being said, the house sat on the market forever, and they still haven't sold it. They lowered the price to $535, but I still think it's way too high because, and these are my reasons, the house is, you know, amazing. It's a beautiful house, all pretty much brand new. But the problem with that one is it doesn't have any landscaping done. They cut down a bunch of trees and there's like massive, like 1.5 foot stumps. And if you guys have ever had to remove stumps or anything like that, you guys know how much of a pain in the ass that is. So you'd have to get a company to come in and remove the stumps for you. And that's not cheap. So they come in and they have like this big chipper that sits there and grinds the stumps out. So you'd have to do that. There's still a boatload of trees on the property that kind of needs to be removed. And a bunch of like, they call them like house killers. Like the trees are like going sideways, like, and some of them kind of getting close to the house. So you would have to spend, I don't know, if I had to put a number on it, you'd probably have to spend at least 10 grand getting rid of a lot of these massive ugly trees that are on the property. And then the backyard, so what originally the whole property kind of like sloped like this down from the road, and they brought in a bunch of fill. The guys were saying they brought in like, I don't know how many thousands of dollars of fill. So they took a property like this and kind of built like a pad like that, and they put the house on top of it. But the problem is they didn't extend it far past where they need to put the house. It's like almost like they brought in the minimum amount of fill they needed. So the backyard has like a patio that might be like 12 feet by 12 feet. So like maybe like 140 foot square patio, and then it just, the grade of the property just falls off and probably goes down like 10 feet into like a big like valley. So if you ever wanted to have like a backyard or a pool or anything like that, you would have to bring in like trucks and trucks and trucks of fill to try to build the level way out, and it just seems like a whole project. Like you would have to spend like at least 50 grand on that house to have a proper backyard if you ever want to, just to get the grade properly and get rid of all the trees, in my opinion. So I don't know, the reason why I'm telling you all that is because I just feel like if you were to get that place, it's a nice house, but you can't just, I don't know, in my opinion, you'd want to go outside and enjoy yourself a little bit and enjoy the property. But there's no point in having a big property if you can't do anything with it. So I just feel like it was overpriced given that. So I offered them like $460, but they're like almost like insulted by that amount, which I think is still a lot of money, and you guys probably agree it's quite a bit of money. But yeah, they don't want to budge on the price, unfortunately. So That's that one, and then the one that I looked at yesterday, was it yesterday? Oh, I guess the day before yesterday now. I think I posted it yesterday for you guys. But that one that's on the west coast of Florida, they're supposed to be getting back to me. It needs like a roof and it needs some stuff, so I gotta figure out. Something's swimming back there. I don't know if you guys can hear the water. But I gotta figure out, because that one needs a roof, so I gotta decide what I want to do with that one. It just sounds like a bit of a headache to try to work into the deal. If you guys don't know, down here, like the roof has to be less than 17 years old down here on a house. Otherwise, a lot of companies won't insure it. And if you can't get insurance, then the mortgage won't come through because they want to have insurance on the house in order to approve everything. So it's just like a whole fiasco. So that's what's going on in the house. I don't know how I got down that track, but that's the answer to that. Oh, I think I was answering Mark's question about perspective properties. Lauren says, real estate idea. I had a townhouse that parked my 27 FB Airstream, large enough to have a wood workshop, use electric hoist to store tools up. That's alright too. Chronicles says, what's up my guy? Boosted Rules, what's up man? Appreciate it. Lauren says, someone is having technical difficulties back here. If you custom build, go vertical and walk up to living space. Our unit was 11 high, garage, 2 stories. Nice. Man, somebody can't figure out their car line. Yeah, but as far as custom building, it would be nice and ideal thing, but, and you know, believe me, my family suggested that. Hey, why don't you build something? Or even other people on the channel have suggested that. But really, I want to get into something where I can just get back to doing what everybody wants to see, which is get back to the builds, get back to doing our thing. You know, yes, I can go out and buy a piece of property for 50 or 100 grand, and I could build a house on it for a couple $100 grand, and I would have $300,000 into a property. But it's not like that stuff happens overnight. Plus, the cost of building stuff is going through the roof. You gotta get the property, then you gotta get plans, and then you gotta get it approved, and you gotta get all your permits, and then you actually have to build the thing. So I mean, like, I can't be without a house for 6 months to a year, which is probably what something like that would take. And I just don't want to do that. I'd rather get something, even if I buy something like today, right now with you guys, like it's still going to take at least 30 days for me to actually get the keys to the place. So I'd rather just look for something and then try to buy something. The other option is I could rent, but I just don't want to, I want to stay in something for at least a few years. Another reason why I want to do that is, just get into something, because I don't have to move twice. I do have a lot of stuff, and it was a pain in the butt moving, so got all that stuff, situated, but I just don't want to have to move twice is the other thing. If I move again in a few years, it's okay, but if I were to rent something and it's only for 6 months to a year, and then I gotta do it all over again, that just sounds like torture to me. So I'm just taking my time trying to find the ideal one, and then we'll go from there. Nathaniel says, so what I'm asking is, as far as cost effectiveness for now with everything going on, would it be cheaper for an 09 5.7 versus a hellcat swap? I mean, that's a hard question to answer, honestly. Because, I mean, the 5.7, you can stick, I think you said you had Dakota, right? I don't know. Something with 5.9. But anyways, let's just, whatever you have that has a Magnum in it, you're probably going to have 46 RE. You could technically put the 5.7 motor onto your 46 RE transmission, and it would probably, handle it to some extent. But if you put a Hellcat on that 46 RE, you're going to burn the living crap out of that thing. So, more power comes more problems too. So you have to have everything else to support it. So that's why I went full drivetrain, full cooling system, full everything. The other thing too is you get into the Hellcat swap, you're gonna have to have a pump for the supercharger system. You have to have all the coolers for the supercharger system, a complete separate cooling system, transmission coolers. The list just goes on and on. So definitely would be cheaper to do junkyard 5.7 swap for sure. Tinker says, why don't you rent and wait for the market to crash and get something massive for the price? Yeah, so that's another consideration too, but the problem is I'm not like Mr. Doomsday guy or anything, but I do think there is some sort of market crash coming. But this is kind of what I'm thinking happened. I kind of want to buy something where I don't think I could get too hurt on it. So I don't want to buy some crazy expensive. For example, like if you buy like a $300,000 house, and not that that's my budget or anything per se, but if you bought a $300,000 house and this crash comes, you know, what's it going to go down to? Maybe 250, at the worst 200. Versus if you buy like a $600,000 or $700,000 house, it might crash down to like 4, and you're going to be upside down to your mortgage way worse than you would if you only had like a $300,000 house. So I'm trying to keep the purchase price as low as I can, getting what we want and need at the lowest purchase price possible right now, while still, you know, enjoying myself and enjoying where I'm going to live for the next few years at least. I do think it's going to dip. When that's going to happen, nobody really knows. Even the economists, if you Google or try to keep up with any economists, they don't even really know. But I think it's going to dip, and then on the other side of that, I think all these prices are going to go to the moon. I think all this money printing and stuff that they're doing is going to lead to massive hyperinflation on the other side. But I think in between now and that massive hyperinflation, I think we're going to have a dip in between. When that happens, nobody can really know. Otherwise, people would be able to time this properly, but you can tell even the economists don't really know because they keep buying into the real estate market, and they're also buying into the stock market, so they don't even know when this thing's going to crash. They're all hysterical as well, buying into the market. So, Dave says, I absolutely agree. Moving from Canada to USA is not an easy process. My folks just made the move, and the process took a few years. Yeah, see, exactly. Nathaniel says that not only that, I would love something different. That's why I'm thinking the 5.7. I say go for it. Any new plans for the Dakota? Not really. I mean, it's mostly working, mostly situated. Once I kind of get settled into, the new spot and stuff, we'll be doing some small stuff. Not small, but just a bunch of pending stuff. I still got to get the door panels done. I got to get the vibration, finally sorted out at some point. And I want to get some paint on the truck, so definitely those 3 things. And there's a bunch of like little knickknacks and stuff that I kind of want to finish up with that, but I do want to get started on a Ram project. So we're not abandoning the Dakota by any means, but I do want to get started on, well, I guess a couple things I should tell you guys. I want to get something we can go racing with. So the Dakota, initially I thought, when I first started off the Dakota project, I just figured we would slam the Hellcat in there and we would go racing, and we would have like a crazy fast drag truck. But then we started making it nice. We started putting the dash in there and all that stuff. And part of the problem is to go to the track and being able to actually get let into the track and pass tech inspection, we would have to have a full cage on that truck. Because I think the year is 2009. I'm pretty sure the cutoff year is 2009. If according to like NHRA rules, I think it's 09. Don't quote me, somewhere around there. If your vehicle's older than that, you can't go faster than I think a 10 or 11. And if you have like crazy power adders like what we have, they won't even let you run, I don't think. So they're gonna want to see a cage on the truck to be 100% legit. Like the last thing I want to do is get that thing all rigged up. We go across the country to go to a race somewhere and we don't pass tech. So I don't know that we want to put a cage in it because there's not a whole lot of room in that truck, and it's going to require like drilling holes through our brand new dashboard that we just put in there and all that stuff to get a cage in there. So if I come across somebody that's, I make some connections with some guys that are really good at, building cages and it can keep a nice profile cage on that thing, then, maybe I'll bring it out to somebody and get somebody to actually install a cage and build a custom cage for us. But otherwise, we can't technically go down the track with it. Even if I fix the vibration, most tracks are gonna kind of turn you away from going down the track. We got into the Extreme Raceway Park because my friends kind of knew the owners, and they're not that picky at that track. But if you're gonna try to go in some big events, then they're gonna turn you away. So where I was going with that story is I do want to get some sort of vehicle, and if not more than one vehicle, that we can actually go to the track with and start racing some people. So I was gonna go look at a red eye down here in Miami, but it was super shady, and I would have showed it to you guys on the computer here tonight, but it didn't work out as far as the computer setup today. I'll try it again another day, but it didn't want to cooperate with us today. But I was gonna go look at this red eye that was down in Miami, and they wanted like 37 or 38,000 for it for a Hellcat Challenger red eye. It was salvaged. The back of it, you know, had bad damage to it, but the front of it looked okay, and it had a bumper on it that didn't look impacted. When I called the guy, he was like, "Oh yeah, it has some front end damage." I'm like, "Well, the bumper looks fine on it. Like, what's the issue?" I'm like, "Did somebody put a new bumper on this?" So what it was is, if you guys don't know, sometimes if you see, even at the Copart auctions, sometimes they'll rerun cars through the auction, and it's like super shady. I don't even know why they allow it, but it's almost like a consignment. You can put a car back through a Copart auction. So what these guys are doing is exactly that. Somebody bought this car from an auction, probably got it back to wherever. They inspected it, found out the damage was brutal on it. So what they decided to do was run it back through the auction. So what they did was they bought a brand new front bumper on it, painted it the same color as the vehicle, put it back on so you couldn't see all the damage underneath it. The company I called to ask if I'd come take a look at the car, they're like, "Oh, you can't come look at it, but you can buy it remotely without inspecting it." And he told me that the rad support and the cooling system and everything behind that brand new bumper was all damaged. So it's just, as soon as I started hearing that, I just I tapped out. But yeah, I want to get some sort of, I guess a few things are on the go. At some point I do want to get a 2500 Cummins for all of our towing needs and stuff like that, because I feel like even though the EcoDiesel is holding up to the torture right now, I feel like, you know, next year 2022, if we start going to all these events and stuff like that, I feel like we need a more heavy duty truck, because I have a feeling if we keep towing that thing all over the place, that we're gonna end up burning up our EcoDiesel. Even if we end up burning up the transmission, like that's a pretty heavy trailer to be towing all over the country like that. So at some point, the 2500 Cummins. I also have to find a 4th gen single cab Ram for the Hellcat swap, so that's the second vehicle on my list of things to do. Third is I want to get a Hellcat car, I'm pretty sure. I want to try and get a Challenger Hellcat, maybe a wrecked one, preferably a red eye if I can afford it, if I can find a wrecked one for a good price. I would like to get that, and maybe we gut the car and we go to the track with it and start hurting some feelings, and we turn it up and pulley swap it and do some of that stuff, because I think that would be fun. Plus, if we have the Ram with the Hellcat swap, then we can go to the track with that thing too, since, like I said, it'll be newer than the 09, so you can go up to 10s without a cage, I think it is the rule. So that would be pretty cool if we do that sort of thing. I think it's not until you get to the 9s that you need a cage, but the Ram's a pretty common vehicle. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody actually sells like a roll cage that you can bolt in at this point. So I want that, and then last but not least, we still need to do something with the 5.7. So I might do like a little junkyard build, maybe get like a 99 Mustang. I want to get something we can maybe put an angle kit on and go drifting, and maybe I'll learn how to drift or something like that. And that's what we would put the 5.7 swap into. Either that or the 5.7 swap goes into some sort of classic Mopar or something. Either way, I think we'll have some fun with that one. So it's kind of what's on the agenda, but priorities first. I gotta get the house first. Let me see what you guys are saying over here. Lauren says, find a lot, go custom, you will never regret it, and return on investment if you sell would be a hedge against inflation. Yeah, like I said, it's just more of a time thing. I agree, like it'd probably be a good investment buying a piece of property and building a house on it, but it's just more of a time thing. I'd rather get back to the builds and what. You guys gotta remember too, like if YouTube is my gig, right? If YouTube's my income and my job right now, if I go MIA for 6 months and I don't have a workshop and all that stuff, or I'm not producing car content, then I don't have an income. So I do have to prioritize that, and that's why I'm gonna get something pretty soon here, so that we're back to work, back doing the builds, going to a racetrack and all that stuff. The other thing too is like Texas 2K is coming in a few months. I don't really have anything that's fast enough to go there, but maybe if I were to find a salvage red eye and we gut it, like we could at least go and have some fun. I know there's like way crazier builds there, but Just stuff to think about, right? Coyote swap it. I know, right? Mark says, I think the real estate market, among other things, is going to pop sooner than later. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So obviously I've been keeping a close eye on the real estate market. If you guys are, doing something similar as well, looking for real estate, I will say that the prices have kind of plateaued. Yes, there's still like the hot markets, like, your Miamis and, Scottsdale, Arizona, like these really bougie areas are really high demand areas. Those are probably still, continuing to climb and stuff since they're super high demand. But for the most part, all the other areas, they're kind of plateauing. Like it's not as crazy as it was, say the summer of 2021. There's houses that are actually staying on the market. Like before, there was like multiple offers jumping in and going like 10 over listing or $50,000 over listing, waiving appraisals, waiving this, waiving that. That sort of stuff is not happening anymore. Like I said, that house in Ocala has been sitting on the market for half a year now. The house that I just went and looked at, the one that you guys saw with the detached shop by the beach, that one's been on the market for 2 weeks now with no offers. Like things are sitting around a little bit more. So I think we're kind of like, housing market was ramping up, and I think right now we're doing one of these, but I don't know. Nobody really knows, right? This could be the top of the market, and I could buy something and be upside down in the market, but we don't know. That's why I kind of want to just get something that'll get the job done for now, and just focus on our builds and kind of not look back on the whole thing. But we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I rent the house out and just keep it long term, and end up buying something. I could always buy a house in the dip, keep this one, and just rent it out. So that's another option as well. Random YouTube says, you ever go in a TRX? Will you ever get a TRX in the future? I mean, it'd be nice. I'd love to tell you guys, yeah, but I don't see the need for like $100,000 or $80-something-thousand truck at the moment. Honestly, when we build this single cab hellcat Ram, like it's going to be faster than a TRX anyways, so I don't think that I'll need the TRX truck. I'll probably try to get the hellcat car so we can actually go fast. Still waiting for the Viper series. It's coming, man. It's coming. $11.99. Can't wait to see 1500 hellcat swap videos. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Like I said, it's going to be somewhat of a easier swap in my opinion. How the heck did the quarter panel get that much damage from shipping for the Viper? They definitely put something. Either they put something on top of the panel, like they just stacked another pallet on top, like, not thinking or whatever. Or they took it, they stood it up, and maybe like a load shifted and squished it against the wall. That's the only other thing I can think of. But that thing got pancaked. Like there was a ton of weight on it. Whether it was lateral or vertical pressure, either way it got squished between something. Nick says, would you ever make a video on, let's skip here, on treating scratches? Just bought a 2019 Ram with a couple and it's a black truck. I'm not really up and up on that sort of stuff. I'd like to tell you guys I'm like, pro level detailer, but I'm really not. It's kind of out of my wheelhouse. But if I have something like that, I might end up trying to fix it. Super happy you did the entire Hellcat swap in the Dakota. Such an epic truck. Can't wait to see the Hellcat 59. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see that swap too. That one's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot less stressful than the Dakota too, so I'm looking forward to it. Nathaniel says, if I did a Coyote swap, Mopar fans will so hate me. It's alright. Lawrence, go new channel, boosted real estate on your new build. I know, right? If you guys don't know, we have a couple other channels. So I have the Boosted Motorsports 2 channel. If you guys don't know, I kind of post some alternate content on there. I posted the last two. Maybe some of you guys might have not even seen the other videos because I've been posting like the kind of my house search stuff on my second channel. I just kind of realized that too. I'm talking about the house videos. Some of you guys might not have seen them. So maybe, let me see. Let me link that other channel for you guys. So if you guys don't know, we have a couple channels. I'm trying to kind of consolidate some stuff, keep some of the stuff on the other channel that's maybe not car related. So I'll link that here in the comments here for you guys. So this is my other channel, the Boosted Motorsports 2. And then I also have another channel. You guys might have saw some of the content that I was posting today. I just post like tech stuff. So, you know, some of the equipment that I use for, you know, vlogging and doing YouTube. And if you guys are wanting to start a YouTube channel yourself, a lot of the equipment that I use, I end up posting it over there because I'm buying equipment for YouTube and stuff. So I figure when it's brand new in the box, I might as well open it, see how it works, show other people. So, but at the same time, it's not car related, so I post it on that other channel called The Garage. So like I have home tech stuff, like putting in surveillance cameras, all that kind of stuff is on the other channel called The Garage. So I posted both links in the comments below if you guys want to check those out. I'm kind of liking this little setup though, because the quality, like I'm still on my data network on the phone, and the quality coming through here that I can see on my computer looks excellent. So this is kind of a good setup. Plus I have my laptop here so I can actually see your guys' comments. I'm kind of liking this setup, but comment in the chat below, like is the picture quality as clear as it looks like it's coming through in the audio? Because it looks pretty legit through here. That's my new iPhone 13 Pro that I just got. I was trying to get one of those, but they're all backward. I finally got my hands on one last week. Let's see. Mark says it ran a turbo 750 Honda 30 years ago. It ran 9.25 at 140. They told us to take it home. It was too fast. Rode it 65 miles back to LA, but got a good time slip. Damn, that's definitely flying. Matt and Nathaniel are chatting it up. Tinker says, any advice on find a small shop when renting or a shop space? Not really, to be honest. I mean, I've contemplated doing that, just getting a normal ass house and then renting a shop. The thing is with that, you're gonna have a lot of overhead, in my opinion. So that's why I'm trying to do it all in one. Like I'm not like a storefront, or I'm not like offering services. I'm not doing oil changes and stuff like that where people need to bring their vehicles to me or anything like that. So I'm just tinkering with my own stuff. So for that reason, I feel like I could get away with doing it at home. The other thing too is when I'm constantly ordering parts, and the way things work these days, you know, back in the day, you would order something from a speed shop and it would show up at the speed shop, and you'd either get them to install it or you'd go pick it up from the speed shop. Now it's like you order everything online and it shows up at your door. Problem I have is like when we were deep into the Dakota build, like I was just having to order so many things, so many boxes were showing up multiple times a day. If I had my own shop and I have my house, it's like you want to order stuff where you're at, but I don't want to order something from Amazon and it shows up at 9 o'clock at night, and it's, you know, if I ship it to the shop and I'm at home, I gotta drive to the shop to make sure somebody doesn't steal it off the, you know, the front porch or the entrance of a shop. And if I send it home and I'm at the shop, then I gotta drive from the shop back home to pick up something that I might desperately need. It just seems like a whole friggin' fiasco. Plus you're paying, you know, electrical bills, water bills, you know, probably in our case we need internet. I can't just be at the shop with no internet, so I would need an internet connection at the shop, so I'm gonna have to have double utilities at both ends. So I mean, if we eventually get to the point where we're, you know, doing other people's builds, you know, the shop would make sense in my case, but for now I'm trying to keep it all under one roof, one set of utility bills, and go from there. Especially with, you know, kind of the uncertainty in the market and the economy, I want to minimize my exposure as much as possible. Random videos says, yeah, looks good. Okay, thank you. Quality is pretty good. All right, right on. Nathaniel says, if I did a coyote swap to work in fabrication, I say do the coyote swap. Matt Sang says, I definitely need to get some stuff to do my Fox Body Mustang. Dart SHP with billet main caps. Oh, he's got a whole build. That'd be pretty legit, Matt. Nathaniel says, if anyone did that build, I vote John first. I could. Imagine we did that. Imagine I got a Mustang, we take the motor out of the Mustang, we put it in the Challenger, and we put the Challenger motor in a Mustang. People would lose it. That would actually be hilarious. Imagine we got like 2 newer cars. We got a Coyote Mustang, and we got like a Challenger Scat Pack, and we literally just took all the computers and the engine and the drivetrain, and we just went whoop and swapped them. It would make people so mad. And we should do that. What do you guys think? Should we get like a V6 Challenger and just take everything out of a Coyote and put it in a V6 Challenger? Just set the internet on fire? Let's see. Brian says the quality of the videos looks awesome. It's really clear. Okay, thanks. Yeah, like the videos that I upload, I know are clear. I'm just curious on this live stream whether this is looking clear. It looks really good on here, but I'm just curious how it's coming through in the live stream. The other thing I don't know is how much battery I have on my phone there, because I don't have anything connected to it. So hopefully we're okay on the battery on the phone for a minute here. Matt Stang says, I can't wait to see the Ram 1500 slam on the ground on airbags, hellcat swap. Yeah, like I think it's gonna be cool having like the whole, I don't know that I'll be able to bring them all to one show. Like that's getting kind of crazy and for the size that I am right now. I know like, you know, Cletus and stuff has a whole car hauler bringing all of his vehicles, but I just think it'd be cool as heck having like the SRT10 Ram, the Ram 1500 with the hellcat swap, and then having the Dakota with the hellcat swap, like having those 3 single cabs like as a little package or a little fleet. I think that would be pretty cool to have lined up at a show. Mark says ditto on the video quality here. Okay, cool. So it is coming through clear then. Barry says buy a house with property and build a shop to spec, build out of block, not steel, or you cook in the summer. Yeah, just the whole, like I said, just the more the time frame thing of me just trying to get back into the group of building stuff. Matt says they would lose it. Don't do it. That would be so good. Dav says quality is about as smooth as a winch pulling the Viper engine into your trailer. Okay. Mark says gotta jump out. Time for roadkill on the grill. Thanks, John, for the update. Alright, Mark, we'll see you later. Mark says do it. Dav says do it. Do the switcheroo. Oh man, that'd be so good. Even if I just got a completely totaled Coyote and just put all that in like a V6. It'd be, I don't know if it would be funnier or less funny having 2, like, if you got like a Hellcat Challenger and you just got a Coyote and they're 2 perfectly good cars and just swapped everything, all the drivetrain stuff. I don't know if that would be better or just get like a wrecked Coyote and put the 5-liter in something. Either way, it'd be pretty crazy. Michael says, are you going to look for a 4th gen regular cab for the Hellcat? Yep, that's the plan. Oh, that's the other thing you guys can help me out with. If you see a 4th gen, and it has to be like 2015 and up, if you see a 4th gen single cab 2015 and up, I kind of just need a roller, but if you see one that has like a blown engine or maybe has a cam failure, you know, you see one that maybe has a blown transmission, I don't really care as long as it's got a clean title. Preferably lower miles, but if you guys see one, it could be like a base model, like a Tradesman or an Express, I don't care. I can end up pulling all the interior out of it anyways, but if you see one, DM me with it, because I'm, like I said, I'm not actively looking right now because I'm trying to focus on the house stuff, but I will be, you know, trying to get one soon. And if I do find a really good deal, then I'll just pick it up in the meantime. But you guys can help me out by keeping an eye out for me as well, because I do need one. Let's see. Let's see. I'll come down and drive one for you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, a lot of these vehicles, that'd be a long ass drive. That's the problem. Darren says, yep, quality of picture is a little less. Your phone was crystal clear. Sound is the same in both. Yeah, well, this right now is from my phone, so hopefully it comes through clear. But I'm not on Wi-Fi on my phone, so that might be the difference. Will the Hokoda be at PRI? No, so I'm just going to be floating around, just walking around myself, just kind of checking out the scene. I'm not bringing anything up there. The other thing too is my trailer is like I'm down here in South Florida. My trailer and all my stuff is in Texas still. Like, it's just, and it's kind of a last minute deal for me going to this PRI thing. I didn't even know what it was until like 2 weeks ago. I say do an off-road build. Mudding is just as fun as going fast. That's true. I'd have to look into that scene. I'm not really up and up on that. Can you imagine taking a V6 Challenger and putting a new Shelby motor in it? Damn, that'd be crazy. Dave says, professional automotive painter. I'm moving to Tampa in 3 months. I'd like to do some projects for you coming from Canada. Nice. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if I got bit. I got my first bug bite in Florida. We're gonna need to paint the Dakota, or the Hellcat. So, yeah, if you're down to work out something for painting the Dakota, then I'm all for it. Send me like a direct message or a private message on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. YouTube doesn't have private messaging, so that's why I always say, you know, Facebook or Instagram, send me a private message there, because YouTube doesn't have that functionality. Are there issues with the gens of Hellcats? Yeah, so 15 and 16 apparently some of them had blower issues, so that's something to keep an eye out for. They had some of the blowers failing on them, and then if the blower fails, all that gets scattered into your engine, so it's a beautiful recipe for disaster. Time is at 6:30. How long have we been going for? What's it say on here? Let me check my phone, make sure the battery's not about to die. I think we should be okay, but let's see. I don't even know how we check it from here. Who knows? It might just, when it croaks, it croaks. All right. So we'll go for like 15 more minutes, maybe max. I think we've been on here for a while. Yeah. So I guess as far as other news, like I said, PRI next week. The different vehicles. I told you guys on the different vehicles that I want to, look into. So priorities first: house, Ram 1500, rolling chassis, if I can get one, or just a Ram 1500 that I can pull the running motor out of. I'm trying to keep the cost down on that. Want to see about getting a Hellcat car, preferably red eye, maybe a wrecked red eye from the auction, and we rebuild it and stuff. So that's another one. Kind of want to do a Mustang drift build. I think that would be fun. So, like I said, honestly, you guys, I'm saying this from experience. Most people, when they say stuff like this, I know they're probably just talking out of their ass, but when I just know that when I say something, I'm not just BSing it, it's actually gonna get done. I'm just I'm throwing some ideas out there, just some teaser ideas, but hopefully some of you guys have been with the channel for a while now. You guys know that when I say something, I do my best to get it done, right? Like I said, I was gonna Hellcat swap the Dakota. 6 months later, we have everybody hates when I say this, but the world's first complete Hellcat swapped vehicle. So nobody's ever put the dash in there with the center console, with all electronics and the touch screen and the key fob and a complete swap, right? Yes, there's another guy that put an engine in there, but nobody's ever done a complete swap. So I said to you guys, hey, I'm gonna do this, and within 6 months I had it done. So when I tell you guys we're gonna do a Hellcat swapped Ram 1500 and document the whole series, it's gonna happen. Unless I come up with a better idea before then, that's the plan now. So I think that'll be a good one though. I'm pretty sure that one's gonna be where that new Hellcat motor is gonna go for its new home. But yeah, that's just, I'm kind of just sharing my thoughts with you guys, and then on the other stuff we can kind of go crazy with some other stuff. But I just really want to get a car that we can go to the track with and go fast with, because I think I've told you guys, most of you guys probably know, but I'm a true racer at heart. I grew up racing motocross, snowcross. I competed in the Winter X Games. I grew up racing, so I want to be at the track having fun. I don't want to always be in the garage or, not being able to go to the track and go racing. So, like I said, the Dakota kind of turned into more of a show truck than a true race truck. Yeah, it can kind of be a combination of both, but in order to do that, like I said, I would need a cage and to figure out this vibration thing. So I think the Dakota's kind of gone a little bit of a direction of a street show truck more than a full-on race truck. But the Ram that we get, I think I should be able to take that to the track fairly easy, since the threshold of, you know, needing a cage is gonna be lower. It's not until you get into the 9s you're gonna need a cage, and it'll be easier to put a cage in that. And if I drill holes through the dash, I can just get another Ram dash and put it back in if I ever wanted to, you know, convert it back from a race truck to a show truck. If I start drilling holes through that Dakota dash, the Charger dash, like, it's just a huge undertaking. Plus, I don't even, honestly, if you guys don't know about cages, they have to go like along the A-pillars, and you have to drill holes through the dash. Like, everything like is so tight behind that dash, I honestly don't even truly know where those bars for the cage would fit through, because with all the vents and everything that I had to like cram in there as far as like the HVAC vents for the dash, like, I honestly don't know where you would go with the bars for the roll cage. Like, it would be stupid tight in there. So I don't know, I think it would kind of make it a bit of a mess in there, to be honest. I think I'd rather keep that as a, you know, street show truck. But I mean, things could change. I could bump into somebody that says that they can get a cage in there and do it right, and then all of a sudden things could change direction. But right now I just want to, you know, the Dakota runs, it works, I'll figure out the vibration, we'll have a bunch of fun with that stuff. Because there's other things too, like, you know, there's like that show like This Versus That. I think they wanted to see the truck on there, so as long as I can get the truck, you know, mechanically working, like, we can go and do different things with it like that. So still a lot of fun to be had with that. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. Let me see, you guys got a bunch of stuff in the comments here. David says need to go into the battery. Yeah, the problem is if I swipe too much on the screen, like if I swipe down, it just gives me like the general home screen thing, and if I swipe completely out of the app, then it's gonna freeze it. So I just, whatever, it should be okay. It's a brand new iPhone and it had like 3/4 battery. If this unexpectedly quits, then you guys know why. Next time, like I said, I wasn't planning on using my iPhone, but next time I would plug it in so that the iPhone has power. Oh, might have unexpectedly quit just as I said that. Let's see. We jinxed it, you guys. Literally just as I said that, it hit 20%, so the notification for the 20% just popped up. So we don't have a ton of battery, but that's okay. We're gonna wrap it up here in a minute. Let me get you some of your questions here, though. What were the issues with the hellcat blowers? I can't remember exactly, but I know that they were the blower itself. I don't know if it was the bearings that were letting go or the rotors, but something was happening where they were letting go. Cody swapping a Challenger. The diehard Mopar will go into freight compensation overload. Might commit mass genocide. Jeez. Might have to do it though. That'd be pretty fun. Nathaniel says, before the build will happen, definitely gotta get out of Cali first. Oh, for you, yeah, I would say that. Have you seen Clay Milliken's Dakota build? Yeah, so I'm gonna be meeting up with Clay next week at PRI. So I'll be meeting him. I haven't met him in person. We've been, you know, chit-chatting on the sidelines or whatever, but I might end up swinging past his place after the fact. I might make a pit stop over there and kind of document his build as well with, you know, my camera. Obviously, you can go watch his build on his channel, but might go hang out with him at his place at some point. I know he's a busy guy too. He's been all over the place with his racing schedule, so we're trying to line something up where I might go over there and kind of hang out with him for a day or something like that and bring you guys that content. So you guys can look forward to that as well. So I'm definitely familiar with Clay and his build too. Randall says Indy has a few good salvage yards. Should check them out before you leave Indy. Yeah, actually that's one of the salvage yards near Indy has the quarter panel. They were just being kind of wieners about it. I was like, hey, I'm coming up to Indy next week. Can you have that quarter panel ready for me? And they said, oh, the Viper that we were going to take it off of, it's still installed and it's buried 8 cars deep. And we don't know if we can get to it. But they're supposed to let me know on Monday if they can take it off the car, but like I swear some of these salvage yards don't want to make money. Barry says, used to sneak into PRI when it was here in Orlando. Lots of fun. They're not supposed to sell product, but some of the smaller vendors will sell it at the end at a phenomenal price. Nice. Yeah, it's probably because they don't have to ship it back. Can you get 1200 horsepower out of the Viper? The Gen 5 motor, that's like, yeah, that's definitely possible because it's all forged internal, so you can definitely make that kind of power on the Gen 5 motor with some boosts or nitrous, but maybe not nitrous. It'll have to be a pretty big shot, but you can definitely make it with boost. Alright, well, my phone has 20%, so I don't want it to cut off since we've had enough interruptions on tonight's live stream. But yeah, kind of cool. I'm tinkering with the setup, so just bear with me, you guys, while I kind of get in this little setup that I have dialed in. But yeah. So yeah, I'll like I said, keep you guys posted on anything that goes on. I'll probably do another live. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna try and get some better cell service too. Right now I have T-Mobile, but it doesn't work the best on the road. Right now we're actually on T-Mobile, so I guess I shouldn't say that it works half decent. But hope everyone has a great weekend. As far as content, I might do some Alpha OBD stuff with you guys tomorrow, just to give you some stuff there. Oh, tomorrow I think I'm gonna be going to a Cars and Coffee in Fort Lauderdale, I think, or Miami. There's a big Cars and Coffee over here. If you guys are local, if you happen to be watching this, come say hi. I'm gonna go to the big Cars and Coffee that's out here tomorrow. But if not, I'm gonna end up filming it and showing you guys on the main channel. So check out the other two channels. I linked them in the live chats. That's about it. Have a good weekend, guys. See you guys on the next video.